Right, I was talking to my AS friend, and she's a Muslim actually, and she says she don't get on with other Muslim women, mainly because one thing I didn't realise was, you know, like when they cover the face, it was really nothing to do with the Quran, which is, religion. It seems to have been adapted and written in by some Muslim men or whatever in the UK or around the world really, that it's part of the religion that women should cover their face. It isn't even in the bloody book. But that's beside the point. I was talking over a few things and I was thinking how America has embraced AS in a big way, but they haven't talked about it. For instance, you know House? Brilliant mind, says what he thinks, everything else, do you know what I mean? Can analyse situations, not very sociable, not, everything about him, highly intelligent bloke, but AS isn't mentioned. It's not mentioned. The Mentalist, another one who can read people, who can analyse situations, analyse what people's motives are and everything else, and says what they think, but AS isn't mentioned. Obvious ones like Forrest Gump. He wasn't all bad, was he? But I think he was slow, he was lower autistic, slow. But again, never mentioned. Columbo, the classic. The fact that he goes and he acts like a fool. He gets in people's way. Get out of the way, Columbo. Let the real people do the job. And then he's thinking it in his head, and he's got all these things. He's piecing all the things together, and then eventually he comes in and solves the crime. Peter Falk, in real life, I believe, is AS. Somebody who met him said that he seemed very, very odd in a way. He didn't fit. He was more like Columbo in real life as well as Columbo, in the show. But people's perception of AS is, Betty, got a little bit of trouble, Betty, and that kind of crap, which really pisses me off, because Frank Spencer was an AS. Come on, wake up, Australia. I mean seriously, Frank Spencer was a mummy's boy. He was his mother, if you look into his past, because they did a thing actually in one of the specials, I think it was, he was mollycoddled by his mother, and his mother put him in a dress as well because she wanted a little girl and she got a little boy, and so went very effeminate, and he was a very damaged individual. But was he AS? No way. No way. He was weird in the way that he was, oh, my mother said this and my mother said that and all that, and oh, Jessica, but he wasn't AS. No way. I'm Mr. Bean, right, yes, That's autistic. That is an AS. It is an AS. I'll give you an of who AS is. Quincy could be AS. Quincy, you remember that one? People who are professors at university. The inventor. Some mechanics. It's a lone job. Engineers. Computer programmers. Software engineers. People who are artists, and that's what they do for a living, and they need their space, and they just focus on art, and maybe their friends are animals, but they're not, they don't relate to people. Not all artists, but I'm saying, those kind of people are AS. But not this retard rubbish, not this bloody crap that NT's come out with, saying, oh, retarded because he got AS. Rain man. That'd be stupid. I'll tell you one thing, right? I will tell you this. I would much rather have AS than be like half the plebs you see especially the women that have their trousers halfway down, showing a builder's arse, and they haven't even got the decency to have any knickers on or whatever. And it isn't nice. It isn't like, oh yeah, they look good, you know. It's normally this big woman, and the flipping trousers are halfway down, and you can see the crack of arse, and you feel like saying, for God's sake, get some braces on there or whatever, you know, get your bloody trousers up. And then you get these lads that angle, yeah man, and all that, and trying to act black and the white and whatever, and, you know, fake gold jewellery and Betlinge earrings and, yeah, I'm much rather BAS than any of that. I mean, how can you flipping well take seriously these people that, you know, walk around like they're constipated, you know, or they've got the shits basically, and they walk around like and they always sound like they're drunk or they're on drugs. Have you ever noticed that? And society says that we should be like that. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I was never the one to flipping go with the crowd at school, and I'm glad about it. And I'm never the one to go with the crowd now. When people had long hair, I had short hair. When people had the basin cuts and that, you know, I had my hair how I wanted. You know, when I had long hair, others had short hair. It's funny, you know, people said, oh, you big girl's blouse because I had long hair. Then David Beckham had long hair and it was all in, oh, I've got to grow my hair long. And what's that anyway about football? I mean, they call people gay. They say, oh, you're not into football. Are you a puff or something? Are you gay? You know. No offence to any homosexuals or on the channel or whatever, but I'm saying this is how people are. What blokes put other pictures of other blokes half naked on their bloody wall? And flipping well worship other men? And they call me gay. When I was their age, I had pictures of page 3 models on my wall. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, but you know, it's the pot calling the kettle black. And then when they get on the pitch, they're going, oh, kissing each other. I mean, what happened to the good old firm handshake, you know? Thanks for the match, you know? What the hell happened to that? And blokes say, oh, another bloke's gay if he cries. But yet at the football match, they're blubbering like little babies. You remember Paul Gascoigne? He even made a flipping crisps commercial with flipping Gary Lineker on it. And made a joke of crying, you know. He was all crying all over the place. Oh, David Beckham, he wore freaking sarong once. You know. Does that mean that all the blokes that have been macho and saying, oh, yeah, I'm tough, I'm into football, will suddenly start wearing dresses and sarongs and things like that just because David Beckham does? And let's face it, they've had the hairstyle like, you know, the earrings the same, you know, the freaking gold jewellery the same. And then might as well go the whole hog, eh? Have the operation. So this is what I'm talking about, you know. What is normal? What the hell is normal? It's nothing, it's other people's perception of normal. You know, got to live our lives how we want. And all this stuff about getting an autistic gene. An autistic gene, I mean, flip me. An autistic gene, you know, if they find that, if they manage to find a cure for autism, totally, no AS, no nothing, right? The world would grind to a halt. Because if we were all acting NT, if we were all like going, you know, just watching football and just going on with our lives and not caring about improving the world and finding inventions and finding things to improve our lives, the world would grind to a halt because there'd be no evolve, you know, we wouldn't evolve. We'd still be in caves if it wasn't for some inventor when it came to fire. We'd still be bloody in caves. Because there wouldn't be kilns, there wouldn't be bricks. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my rant for today. Take care, bye for now.